UFC's back for a pretty decent pay-per-view. There's a bunch of fun fights on it. Top 4 fights on the main card are all roughly pick 'em odds right now. So you already know plenty of money to be made. Let's get into it. First fight of the night, we got King Green taking on Mauricio Rufy. So Green is 32-16-1 with one no contest. That is 13-11-1 with one no contest in the UFC. Rufy is 11-1. That's 2-0 in the UFC. Green has won 3 of his last 5 fights, but he was finished in both of those losses. Rufy has won 6 straight fights, 5 of those coming by knockout. Green getting up there, 38 years old. Rufy, 10 years his junior, 28 years old. I'm taking the over 1.5 here. It's minus 225. Bobby's only hit it twice in his last 5 fights, but he has hit it in 18 of his 26 UFC fights. That's 69% of his UFC fights. Rufy also only hit it twice in his last 5 fights, but hey, he hit it in his last fight. So, maybe he's going a little longer these days. I trust Bobby's chin here. I know he was finished recently, but still, we're riding with the over 1.5. I am parlaying it. I'll get to it later. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, how about Rufy money line? It's minus 460, so definitely parlay it. He's 10 years younger, dude, and he's looked like a fucking hammer. Green was finished in 2 of his last 3, and his lone win in that time did come against a 40-year-old Jim Miller. No disrespect to Jim Miller, but he is 40 years old. You're fighting the younger guy here. I don't know. I like Rufy to get it done. If you want Rufy at plus money, take him by knockout, plus 140. 10 of his 11 wins have come by knockout, and Green has been knocked out 5 times before. If you do like Bobby Green, though, take him by decision, plus 550. Majority of his 32 pro wins have come by decision, and he has 4 times the amount of pro fights as Rufy. So I could definitely see him getting it done. Next fight of the night, we got Amanda Lemos taking on Yasmin Lucindo. So Lemos is 14-4-1. That is 8-4 in the UFC. Lucindo is 17-5. That is 4-1 in the UFC. Lemos has won 3 of her last 5 fights. Lucindo has won 4 straight fights. Lemos, 37 years old. Lucindo still just 23 years old. I'm going to take the over 2.5 here. It's minus 265. I'm going to parlay it. I'll get to it later. Plain and simple, Lemos has hit it in 2 of her last 3 fights, and Lucindo's hit it in 5 of her last 6 fights. So I like this one to go long. If you're looking for anything else to take, how about Amanda Lemos money line at plus 125? In the last 5 years, she's only lost the top 5 strawweights, and 3 of her last 4 wins have come over top 15 strawweights. Lucindo does have 22 pro fights, but she's still very young. I could see Lemos pulling the upset here. And if you want to add a little extra on it, take Lemos by decision, plus 185. 3 of her 8 UFC wins have come by decision, including her last win. And Lucindo's lone loss in the UFC did come by decision. And last but not least, if you like the favorite Yasmin Lucindo, take her by decision, plus 125. 4 of her last 5 wins have come by decision, and Lemos has gone the distance in 2 of her last 3 fights. Next fight of the night, we got Jalen Turner taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. That name is a lot of fun to say. Ignacio Bahamondes. Turner is 14-8, 7-5 in the UFC. Bahamondes is 16-5, 5-2 in the UFC. Turner, he's lost 3 of his last 4. Bahamondes has won 5 of his last 6. Turner, 29 years old. Bahamondes, still just 27 years old. So I'm going to take the over 1.5 here. It's minus 185. I'm going to parlay it with the over 1.5 in Green Rufy and the over 2.5 in Lemos Lucindo. Those 3 together get us plus 206. I like that a lot. Turner's hit the over 1.5 in 3 of his last 4, and Bahamondes has hit the over 1.5 in 9 of his last 11. So feeling good about that one. If you're looking for anything else to take, this is a pick 'em right now. So Turner money line, you'd have to parlay it. He's minus 102. In the last 5 years, he's only lost to top 10 lightweights. Bahamondes hasn't even fought anyone in the top 15 at lightweight. Turner was also taken down in 3 of his 5 UFC losses, but Bahamondes has 0 takedowns in 7 UFC fights. So I can't see him going for one here. And if it stays standing, I like Jalen to get it done. If you do like Baja Mondays, though, he's minus 118 right now, so you'd have to parlay him. Since his UFC debut, he's won 5 of his last 6. That lone loss in that span came to Ludovic Klein, who's riding a 7-fight unbeaten streak right now, so it's really not a bad loss at all. Turner's last few losses have come after he couldn't put the guy away early, and I feel like Baja Mondays could last longer here, and maybe this fight goes the exact same way as the last few have. Also, 12 of Baja Monday's 16 wins have come by finish, and Turner's been finished 4 times before, including his last fight. So Baja Mondays could definitely get it done. And last but not least, fight does not go the distance. It's minus 200, so you'd have to parlay it. 18 of Turner's 22 pro fights have not gone the distance, and 14 of Baja Monday's 21 pro fights have not gone the distance. That is 74% combined. Co-main event, we got Justin Gaethje taking on Rafael Fiziev 2. This is the rematch from almost exactly 2 years ago, March 18th, 2023. Gaethje won a majority decision, 29-28 on 2 judges' scorecards and 28-28 on the other. It is worth noting the judge that scored it 28-28 did give Gaethje a 10-8 in round 3, which is kind of wild. But even if he scored it a 10-9, it would have just been a split decision for Gaethje. So either way, Gaethje got the job done. Gaethje is 25-5. That is 8-5 in the UFC. Fiziev is 12-3. That is 6-3 in the UFC. Gaethje has won 3 of his last 5, but he was finished in both of those losses. Fiziev has won 2 in a row, lost 2 in a row, but he was on a 6-fight win streak before that. Gaethje getting up there, 36 years old. Fiziev will be 32 later this week. I'm going to take Justin Gaethje money line here, plus 125. I'm on that all day. He's only fought ranked fighters in his 13-fight UFC career, and he's only lost to champions. He already beat Fiziev. That wasn't that long ago, and this is a 3-round fight again, which I think favors Gaethje again. Fiziev also hasn't won a fight in almost 3 years. Just saying. If you're looking for anything else to take, how about Gaethje by decision, plus 300? Only 4 of his 25 pro wins have come by decision, but 2 of his last 3 have come by decision, including their first fight. So you could definitely see that happening again. Another prop I like is the over 2.5. You'd have to parlay it. It's minus 130. Both guys have hit it in 3 of their last 5 fights. And last but not least, if you like the favorite, Rafael Fiziev, take him by knockout, plus 180. 8 of his 12 pro wins have come by knockout, including his last 2 wins. And we all know Gaethje was just brutally knocked out in his last fight. He's also been knocked out 3 times before. His chin could be gone. We don't really know. So worth taking a flyer on. Main event, we got Alex Poatan Pereira taking on Magomed Ankalaev. So Pereira is 12-2. That is 9-1 in the UFC. Ankalaev is 19-1-1 with 1 no contest. That is 11-1-1 with 1 no contest in the UFC. Pereira has won 5 straight and 4 straight by knockout. Ankalaev is unbeaten in 13 straight fights. Poatan getting up there, 37 years old. Ankalaev still just 32 years old. I'm taking the dog. I told myself I would take whoever the dog was here. I know Poatan opened as the dog, and a bunch of you hopped on that. I unfortunately did not, but I did hop on Ankalaev money line at plus 110. He's taken down 7 of his 12 UFC opponents, and Poatan has already been taken down by 5 different opponents. So I feel like Ankalaev should be able to get him down, and if he could keep him down, he should be able to cruise to a victory here. His only career loss came in a last-second submission in a fight he was dominating. Literally 1 second left on the clock. Paul Craig got him. And also 5 of his last 6 wins have come against top 15 light heavyweights. He's not fighting scrubs. I like Magomed to get it done here, especially at plus money. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, I just said I was willing to take whoever the dog was. I understand if you want to take Poatan money line. He's minus 115 right now, so you'd have to parlay it. If he can stop the takedown, this is his fight to lose. He's clearly the better striker. His current 5-fight win streak have all come against top 10 guys, and 7 of his last 8 fights have come against former champions, which is wild. Another prop I like, Poatan by KO. I mean, how could you not? Plus 110. 10 of his 12 pro wins have come by KO, including 4 straight. The only thing is Ankalaev's never been KO'd before. Last but not least, over 2.5 rounds, minus 160. You'd have to parlay it. Poatan's only hit it twice in his last 5, but his last fight did go to round 4, and Ankalaev's hit it in 5 of his last 8.
I'm worth 100,000 like Woodrow. When a ball call me Wilson, going overboard at the Hilton.